Hello, my name is Matt. Welcome to Unbearable73. Okay, it's time to review episode 5 of Yakamoz S245. Note that I will be spoiling the first 4 episodes if needed. So where do we leave off? They discovered a stowaway aboard the Yakamoz. Mozmet. A woman who had led everyone on a chase before holding one of the scientists at gunpoint. And that was right where the episode ended. In episode 4, everyone began pulling together. They need to repair the Yakamoz and resupply. There were also some interesting observations about the food that had been on the surface. That all being said, and touching on some spoilers, I have a feeling that not all the writers are necessarily pulling in the same direction sometimes with these episodes, because I wonder if some of them want to show about surviving the apocalypse, and others want to show about what can go wrong, will go wrong. There seems to be like maybe 3 meta plots running through this show right now. First, a really good surviving the apocalypse plot. Second, a pretty good study in humans breaking down in the face of the collapse of civilization, which is, well, I should say it's not really good. It's good at times and bad at times. And I'll get to that later, why it's bad at times. And the third one is kind of a ham-handed plot about secrets that seems to be kind of shoehorned in between the other stuff. And I think if they had maybe de-emphasized that breaking down in some of the mental struggles they're going through, in the bad parts of it, they could have had this third plot element feature a little more strongly and be better. Right? What I think they're trying to do is blend all 3 together as part of the actual main plot, which I will talk about what I think that is in the next episode. Okay? And then my next review, I should say. Because this episode gives you some interesting information that I don't want to talk about because it will spoil it. But here's the problem. The problem is they seem to be flip-flopping through these 3 strains without any sort of linking or transition. Like in 1 second they're doing survival stuff, they're pulling together. Then the next scene there's all this angst that comes out of nowhere, and there's violence, and then you the next scene they're back to investigating something or whatever. And there's no, it's like that maybe it's small units filming each scene and they're just flopping them together, In any case, the cops are coming. They're worried about my review. I don't know if you hear the buzz in the background, In any case, we'll move on a bit. There's not really a comment of production. It's the same quality. Nothing new and notable happened as far as to see in terms of that issues in episode 5. So we'll go straight to the plot. So it opened with the resolution to the cliffhanger from episode 4. And that's kind of what led to my issues with this episode, because this episode was inconsistent. I would rate it in some ways better than the 3rd episode, in some ways worse, not as good as the 1st, 2nd, or 4th episode. Okay? So I'll break this down. This episode seemed like it had 5 parts or 5 stories that were 5 sub-elements that were going on in it, all right? So one part, which I disliked, and seemed to be this plot about the secrets that keeps just popping up. Not smoothly transitioning, just popping up. Like if your bottle of soda was actually a Jack in the Box. You open it and just blew out and whoa, The second part was about the survival aspects. Again, excellent, no issues there. Third part related to the secrets as well, but in a different way. Okay, and I can't say more without spoilering, so I'm the next part. The fourth part was, again, kind of back to the survival, but in a new direction that the episode led them to. Okay, and then the final part, which is the best segment ever, best chunk of scenes ever on this show. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm only going to say one thing. When you see Commander Umat having a tremendous character moment with another character, one of the scientists, you'll know when you're in that section of the show. Okay, and they plant the seeds for the scene with Umat in the last couple of episodes. Okay, so it's been planted. See, that's a good thing. If they've been doing that more properly with this sort of like secrets plot, where it didn't just happen and then disappear, and where there was some traditions, it would be as good as this scene. It was almost like these 5 episodes were built towards this scene with Commander Umat. Okay, who so far is almost my favorite character now in the show. So episode 5 is kind of a mixed bag. As I mentioned, there's some very good and very great parts to this, and some very lesser, not so great parts to it. I think I have an idea of how these multiple elements are at play, and if I understand it correctly, the crew will now be coming together in the face of a particular mystery. And I will talk more about that in the next episode, how I think these sort of interplay, once you've seen the reveals of this episode. Comment down below if you have any questions for me about this video. Please share your thoughts. Share this video if you enjoyed it. Like if you like. Dislike if you dislike. Subscribe if you want to hear more from me. Hopefully the cops won't come and arrest me for doing a bad review or whatever. My name is Matt. This has been Unbearable73. Have a nice day. I am out of here.